Where were you in 1999? I want to know. What were you doing? Where were you? Were you a child like me? Were you a skater kid in UFO pants? Were you embracing the clear, transparent technology of the Apple iMac? Like me, were you graduating high school? Were you going to college? Were you getting married? Were you starting your first job? Who were you? Where were you in 1999? I want to know, and please tell me in the comments below. I had the opportunity to read a book by an exciting new writer, which I'm talking about here, Millennium Boyz. And the writer is a little bit of a protege of Breteastonellis. Alexkazen is an exciting new voice in fiction. And I was very honoured when his publishers reached out to me, and I presumed it was the publisher, and then I discovered that he actually watched the videos I'd made on Breteastonellis' work. I died a little on the inside, but I'm glad that he liked them, and he included a personalised note in the book, which I'm going to read to you now. William, I want to thank you so much for your kindness and open-mindedness you have shown by agreeing to check out my debut novel. I always imagine someone cool like you reading this book and hope that you can emphasize with why I decided to display such disturbing depiction of Mao adolescence. I think in this time we need more cultural outliers, and I appreciate all the support you have given Brett with the Shards as well as his other works. I really hope you enjoy this book, dude, and again, thank you so much. All the best, A. Very rare do writers do that, and it was very appreciated, and my heart sank with embarrassment. It's always interesting when you read a book like this, because they can slowly go too far with the nostalgia, or it can feel faked, and this really doesn't. It's a very heightened version of the 90s. It's the 90s on steroids, and it is a very dark book. If you're a fan of Bret Easton Ellis, or Fight Club, or any books in that frame that really delve into male psychology and human psychology full stop, you will like this book. Now, let's start the full review. Millennium Boyz is this journey into the depths of pop culture and human connections that leave a profound impact on anyone fortunate enough to experience it. It has this blend of raw emotion, this visual storytelling, and very thought-provoking storytelling. It pushes the boundaries of what is acceptable, and I can see some people calling this book problematic or trashing it because they don't resonate with the themes, when really the themes are extremely relatable. I was 17 in the 2000s, but I look at what I was doing at 17. And I'm amazed I got away with it. I was a little bit crazy. This book transports you into a world where the lines between reality and fiction blur on a level that I didn't expect. He has a keen eye for the aesthetics and storytelling, and it comes through because the visuals paint the world. The characters also paint the world, but the world and the storytelling, the visuals, the music, everything combined is this story. It's not just the characters, it's what's going on around them. And that is a rare feat for this type of book. This book is a very captivating experience. It's like bitter chocolate. I started reading on page 1 and I finished it by the next day. I couldn't put it down, and I was actually surprised. And it was interesting going back to the beginning of the digital age, of where we were and what we were doing in 1999, from the internet to... And the internet had been around a little while then, but it was really then for a lot of people. My first computer was an iMac G3, and I remember the early internet, my internet of that. It wasn't even the early internet, it was the middle internet, it was the middle-aged internet, where it was still a wasteland in the best way possible. It was the unexplored Wild West, and that comes through. I think one of the most striking aspects of this book is that it explores human conditions within the context of a fast-paced, technologically driven world. The story helps with these characters because they're so relatable and multidimensional. It allows the viewer, the reader, the person sitting down with this piece to connect with their struggles, their desires and dreams. He is a masterful narrator, and giving those themes of identity, loneliness, the ruthless pursuit of fame in a digital age, are profound questions to ponder long after this book has ended. And I think a lot of people will see themselves within this book, will see themselves from that point. Like I said, I was a teenager a little bit older, but it wasn't the gap between 1999 and the early 2000s and mid-2000s was fundamentally different. And I look back on 1999, and it was such an interesting year for me. I can tell you some funny stories, including getting lost in New York. That was a fun one. that was not a fun experience, to say the least, on the subject, but we got lost. The soundtrack to this book is spectacular. I'm not going to list all the artists, I'm going to leave that to you, but there is a lot of music here. When we would go out and buy CDs, when we would have stacks of them to listen to and CD wallets filled with them. In fairness, I still have many of my CDs. It really does pull you in because it's this aspect of work and of beauty that is rare. And to intertwine the music within this to fit the narrative, you really get the sense of what the characters are feeling, what they're going through, the scenery they're in, through the music alone, even if it's just a point of reference. There is an amazing attention to detail in this book. And it's very interesting because it allows the viewer, or the readers, or the viewers, and the people going through... I don't know how to describe reading this book because of the way the story is told. It's very visual. And it almost feels like you're viewing someone else's experience. It's a very unusual way of storytelling. But it made me reflect on the impacts of social media, the obsession with celebrity culture, the quest for authenticity in an age of superficiality. It does challenge us, and me, to examine our own roles in the digital landscape, and the amount of questions and the nature of these connections it brings up, purely for the pursuit of happiness. We all lie on social media. We smile and we wave, and everything's fine. We can make ourselves look better. We can make ourselves look a bit healthier. We can be someone else and anyone we want to be. And it's fascinating, isn't it? I'm sure there's plenty of very sad people who post pictures of themselves smiling with their friends. This book is up there with American Psycho, with Fight Club. It's up there with Train Spotting. It's up there with some of my favourite books of all time. I mean, the blurring lines between art, storytelling, visual medium, digital medium, life, character-driven plots, music, all of this stuff. And if you want a really thought-provoking and very captivating experience of the modern world of 1999, this book is it. He connects with the audience and he delivers this aesthetic feast for the senses. It's nothing short of remarkable. It's honestly one of the best books of this type I have read. I don't even know what genre this book is, let's be real. It's one of the best books I've read in a very long time. Thought-provoking, powerful, captivates you and pulls you in. This book, I think, is a new classic, and the more people read it, the better. So, tell me what you think in the comments below, like, subscribe for more, and I will talk to you guys later.